Each of us has a path of pure potential, the best and fullest life possible. We have the ability to tap into the vast web of life and the power to deepen our connection to the spirit world. We are creators of our lives and can shift our experiences at any moment to live our highest path. To be alive is magic, and through this knowledge, we can heal and transform anything we wish. Join me, Felicia Armstrong, as we learn how to apply the ancient practices of shamanism to our everyday contemporary life. Enjoy learning about different aspects of shamanism and living in tune with nature cycles, along with guided shamanic journeys and meditations. I am Felicia Armstrong, and this is Shamanic Living. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Shamanic Living. I am Felicia Armstrong, and I'm coming to you live monthly to bring my shamanic lifestyle to each of you. I'm here always to bring about an awareness to everyone who listens that there is more to life than what we can see in this physical world. That there is a spirit world, a light with possibility that can teach us the truth about life. I'm here to bring you possibilities for living a richer and more fulfilling life. So right now, the holiday season has just ended, and we're experiencing a kind of lull in the intensity of the energy that surrounds us. This was such an amazing and interesting holiday for me. I thought it would be quieter and more peaceful, but I found myself getting very caught up in the energy of trying to make it into something. My spirit guides reminded me that we are all in such a huge transition and to not try to make anything happen, to just be in the moment and celebrate what is here. So I let go and I was able to have a lovely and meaningful holiday, and I really hope you did too. As we move into January, I have always found this to be such an interesting time of year because everyone starts to think about resolutions and new beginnings. Even though we have the ability for a new beginning during any time of the year, the new year does signal a shift in consciousness for most of us. It brings us back into thinking about what we would like this year to bring, what changes we hope to see. We begin to dream up how our perfect lives look. Since this is a time of setting new intentions for most people, it always gets me into thinking about the lives we are able to create and that we are supported always by the divine. On my own journey, one of the most profound experiences for me has been to discover that I am not alone. I'm not navigating my life on my own. I have help, and it's always there when I need it. Years ago, channeling was how I first began to realize how supported I was. I would meditate for a few moments and suddenly be given a string of beautiful messages. The content and the way that they were spoken made me know that they were not coming from me. I have books full of these messages that guided me forward in my life. And I later discovered that this use of receiving messages and writing them was a form of automatic writing. So I used to joke about how eloquent channeling made me sound. Even though I considered myself well-spoken, these were simply not my words. There were times that my writing would even change, or I would write symbols that I had never seen. But the messages I got were always full of love and encouragement. Like I said, I found out that this practice was something tangible, and it was called automatic writing. I used it then, and I still do, to converse with my spirit guides and receive guidance on anything in my life. As I first started doing this, even though I knew the messages couldn't possibly be coming from me, I still had my doubts. Learning to trust in your own intuition and your spirit guides is a process in itself for most of us. I learned that my helping spirits never minded if I asked for validation of their messages. As long as I was allowing them to help me, they were so happy and would absolutely help me to trust in them. One of the first validations that I can remember that blew me away happened quite a few years ago now. I was automatic writing and I was given a message from someone called Saint Therese of Lisieux. She was a Catholic nun who had become a saint. At that time, my life had ventured down a very different spiritual path than Catholicism. So it really surprised me that the saint had come to me. I also knew very little about her other than her name. She gave me a beautiful message of encouragement and even told me the year that she received habit or became a nun when I was kind of doubting the message. So I was able to look it up and validate it, and I thought that that was so incredible, but I still asked for one more validation. And I saw in my mind's eye, through using my own clairvoyance, a castle made of crystal. I had no idea what it meant, but I thanked her anyway. And later that day, I went to the job that I had at the time, and one of my coworkers came up to me. She said, "I found this band that you're going to love. Have you ever heard of Crystal Castles?" And so my jaw almost hit the floor. And she probably wondered why I had this look of disbelief on my face, but I thanked her because I knew Spirit had just worked through her. That experience really pushed me forward in channeling. And later that year, I was randomly asked to drop in on a channeling class that a woman was hosting. A friend took me with her, and I just joined to watch since I hadn't joined the class from the beginning of the series. So this woman leading it had replaced the light bulb in the room with a red light bulb. And she said that the red light helped spirit to manifest more clearly to the eye. I honestly went in with no expectations whatsoever, but just an open curiosity. And also feeling that nudge from my spirit guides to join and witness. That's always something I try to navigate my life by is this a yes or a no from spirit? Because that will always lead you down the right path. Curiosity is what has always allowed me incredible experiences with spirit. So I went to this class. The teacher had people sitting in a circle, and one by one, they would allow particular spirits to speak through them. So I listened to a couple people, and they had these really beautiful messages come forward, and then we got to this particular woman. As I sat and watched her, I began to notice this strange residue appearing around her face. It was the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen. As a teenager, I was fascinated by the early psychic mediums who used to hold seances. There are still pictures circulating to this day of something called ectoplasm, which would appear around these mediums as they channeled spirit. It was said to be a substance that formed when a medium connected to spirit. Most of these pictures were proven to be hoaxes, but as I sat watching this woman try to channel a spirit, I physically saw ectoplasm appear around her face. I even nudged my friend sitting next to me in disbelief, whispering, "Do you see that?" And of course she said yes. And I love that no matter how many incredible things I witness while working with spirit, I'm forever in this state of awe. But that's also working with the ego. It's hard for us to believe beyond what is normal or ordinary. And I never ask anyone to believe, but just to be open to your own experiences, to have curiosity. Having your own experience with the fantastic or non-ordinary is life-altering. If you're open to the benevolent realm of spirit, you will have beautiful direct experiences to prove to you the existence of all that lies beyond the scene. Shaman are consistently working as channels for the spirit world. We form these deep bonds with our own helping spirits, and we channel their energy through us in order to provide healing. We journey and bring it back with us, acting like a sacred vessel to hold healing. Shaman channel through entering a trance state, usually by listening to rhythmic drumming. Once I get into this state, I begin to channel immediately and am told information about the person I'm working with. I sometimes hear what they need, what has happened to them, what helping spirits walk with them. Shaman can also channel ancestral spirits, plants or animals, spirit guides, angels, higher beings. The list is limitless. Acting as a channel, though, is a huge part of what we do to heal and bring about healing for ourselves and our clients and the world. I've continued to use channeling today as a part of the shamanic life I lead. Because it's a tool I've been using for many years now, I can quickly drop into that state and receive. But how do we channel spirit? To me, channeling is like breath. It comes in and flows out. It isn't dissected by the ego as it's happening. It's fluid and it pours forward in waves. It's like inspiration coming to you. I love automatic writing because you are actually recording the messages you're receiving. So get out a piece of paper and a pen, or even designate a special journal to this practice, which is a better idea than how I first automatic wrote, which was on the side of a cake box, because that's all I had on hand at the time. So after you have something to write on and with, you are to create sacred space. So try to do this somewhere where you won't be interrupted. You may wish to light a candle or to burn sacred herbs or incense, but take time to intentionally announce your space as sacred and that only the divine may enter into it. To begin to channel, you will always want to start any type of spiritual practice by clearing, grounding, and protecting your energy. I'll usually take a few deep breaths and then connect myself to source and earth energy. I'll also envision an orb of protective light around me. So let's take a moment to do this so that you have an example of what to do, and you can listen back to this recording as many times as you need. So just begin to focus on your breath, feeling the coolness of your inhale and the warmth of your exhale. Now silently call divine energy to you and imagine that a waterfall of pearly white light is pouring from above you, easily into your head and down your neck, cleansing out anything that does not belong. Feel this warm light flowing down your arms and out your fingertips. And then feel the light extend into your abdomen, pouring down in an endless stream into your pelvis, down your legs, and finally out the bottoms of your feet. See the light continue down into the earth, witnessing it creating roots like a tree. The roots travel as far down as they can possibly go until they make a connection with the core of Mother Earth. The limitless, vast consciousness and intelligent life force of the earth. As soon as that connection is made, the earth's energy begins to travel back up, flowing up the roots, up into your feet. Glowing green earth energy pouring into your legs, into your pelvis, traveling up into your abdomen, strengthening and grounding you, up into your heart, your chest, that glowing energy finally into your neck and head, connecting you fully to Mother Earth. Then allowing your mind to choose a color that feels protective to you. You envision an orb of light completely encompassing you on all sides, above and below. Nothing can get into this powerful sphere of light. You are completely protected here. You can take a moment to feel the light around you as tangible, knowing that it only allows in what you'd like to. And take a big deep breath in, open your eyes, and return back to your space. This is a simple grounding and protection practice that you can use before performing any spiritual work. So after this, you will want to state your intention of who you'd like to work with. We would never leave the door to our home open and just allow anyone to walk through. Channeling is the same. We need to be mindful that not all spirits are benevolent, just as not all people are. If you're not sure of a specific benevolent spirit you wish to work with, you can simply just state, I am now channeling a benevolent spirit who wishes to give me a message of light and guidance. You can then ask a specific question or do what I love to do and simply ask, what do I need to know at this time? Then put your pen to paper and allow it to move across the paper and write whatever words come to you. For me, I tend to hear or just know the message and then write it down. Sometimes it comes through very fast, and I actually ask Spirit to slow down so that I can write it more legibly. I then write for as long as I feel guided and end by thanking Spirit for working with me. So after you have your message, take time to reflect on it. I want to say something very important here. It's easy for us to go into spiritual experiences with our egos activated. I want everyone to remember that we all begin this journey somewhere. So please try to not have any expectations. Whenever I teach, my students see where I'm at now and expect to have the same experiences, whether it be channeling, journeying, doing a reading. But where I started and where I am at now are so different. I used to be so grateful to channel a few words or to see an image clairvoyantly. Using your intuition is like building a muscle. You will start somewhere and always have the ability to strengthen and receive even more. Please don't ever judge your experiences and just have gratitude for your own beautiful way and for where you are at. So let's recap how to channel. So 1, have a piece of paper or journal and a writing utensil handy. 2, create sacred space by lighting a candle and burning herbs or incense. 3, ground, clear, and protect your energy field. 4 is to set your intention of who you'd like to work with. 5 is to ask a question or simply, what do I need to know at this time? 6, put your pen to paper and write down any messages. Write for as long as you feel guided and as long as you're receiving messages. 7 is to thank the spirits you worked with. Having gratitude is such an important practice in spirituality. Finally, 8 is take time for reflection. So in thinking about the healthiest versions of ourselves, I felt called to use my channeling ability to give each of you listening a message of guidance. Spirit gifted me with 3 powerful messages, and I was guided to have you all take a moment to just be still and choose a message 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to state each one. Listen for the number that you felt called to choose. So for anyone who was called to message 1, when I closed my eyes, I saw this beautiful image of an ocean tide coming in and out. And here's what I heard. This is a time of great change. Allow yourself to be swept away in a current of it. Fighting against the current only exhausts you. You are in this place now to see that where you may have been headed is not where your true purpose lies. It's okay to shift, to grow, and to change. Letting go of the expectations that keep you from potentially fulfilling an even greater destiny will benefit you now. We ask that you get quiet and get clear, asking yourself, what are my true intentions? What is the life I've been hoping to create? What is my actual goal? Is it love, fulfillment, or joy? The path of purest potential for you is unfolding. Let go of preconceived notions of what you thought it would look like and ride the waves to the glorious potential of what it could be. Let the waves of change gently rock you and move you forward to your brightest destiny. Remember that potential exists when we release our egoic ideas of what should be. For whoever felt called to message 2, here it is. The world is changing and shifting drastically. It is okay to feel this, to have felt fear or felt lost. You are an empath, and it is one of your greatest gifts. Feel, beautiful one. Feel and then cleanse yourself to find your divine truth once more. Angels have been working with your physical and spiritual bodies to bring you back into balance, into health. Now is the time to really listen to the insights of your intuition. Trust in the subtle messages you are receiving, especially if they are of your body. If you've been guided to change your diet or start a new exercise routine, trust in this guidance. The intelligence of your body is relaying messages to you about your overall spiritual and emotional states, asking to be brought back into balance. Spirit is working with you in the utmost gentle way and asking that you listen and follow the guidance you are receiving. It is all to help you move through your great ability to feel. Trust yourself to know how to heal and that you are never doing it alone. You are surrounded by benevolent spirits here to help you always. And finally, for those of you who felt called to message 3, here it is. Power has been quaking through you in the form of emotional intensity. You can feel that you are on course for a major change or shift. Perhaps you even feel fearful of what this change could mean. You are being asked to cut unhealthy ties in any and all ways. Relationships, dysfunctional work environments, habits that prevent your forward momentum. The breaking away from these things allows your innate power to rise within, opening your root chakra and rising as Kundalini energy through your being. This could feel like a dark or troubled time, but this is the essence of awakening. Just as birth is a journey through darkness and into light, so are you being led into your own rebirth. This is a journey you must take, but remember to seek support as needed. No one can do it for you, but you may absolutely be supported in your efforts. Tend to yourself and awaken into the light. Thank you so deeply for listening today, for walking your spiritual path, and wishing you happy channeling. You can join me again next month as we continue our journey into the path of shamanic living. And remember that you can always get in touch with me for an Akashic record reading or shamanic healing at healingbyfelicia.com. That's healingbyfelicia.com. You can also keep in touch with me at my Facebook page, Felicia Armstrong Shamanic Healer, and through my Instagram through my tag at Lady Delune, that's LADYD3LUNE. May you always know how supported and guided you are on your life's path.